What up, y'all? Frank 5D, writer, photographer, all that fly shit people adore. And today I get to converse with one of those real individuals that's coming up in this thing of ours. I was lucky enough to connect with him just a few years ago, and he kept the same energy the entire time. And he's never afraid to share his stories, his lessons, and be that through his music or his other avenues. People, let's bring to the stage Aaqil Ali. What's up,
What's
sir?
up, man?
Chilling out. How you feeling?
I'm good. I feel good, man. I'm happy to be here, man. Finally, I get a
Same
chance to
here.
catch up with you.
Yeah, I mean, best start of any new year in recent memory, and I'm just trying to ride the momentum, like we said a while ago.
Right.
Now's the time.
Mm-hmm.
Picking it around. But so let's start from the beginning, man. I know you moved around. Where you from originally?
All right. So, I was born, in New Rochelle, New York. I lived there till I was about like maybe 9, and then my mom moved to Mount Vernon when I was 10, and I lived there with my grandfather. So, I was born in New Rochelle, New York, and raised in Mount Vernon, New York.
Money earned in Mount Vernon. How
Yes,
was that?
sir. It was dope. It was different. Me, growing up in New Rochelle, that's where most of my immediate family was from. Growing up there, it was tough, projects. I wasn't from the project. I grew up the street from the projects, but my nana, the people who used to watch me, my mom used to always send me down there. So I grew up with a lot of kids, during the crack era. Um, and playing sports and being competitive. And then I moved to Mount Vernon, which was the next town over, about 5 minutes, literally a step over. Mount Vernon was a little bit more aggressive,
Hmm.
predominantly black, smaller, 4 square miles, very cultured, black, Hispanic, Jamaican island, all of us like a real big melting pot. Played football, growing up. So I grew up very competitive. It was tough. All of us was going through a lot of the same stuff. But it molded me. It molded me, made me very strong minded. Mount Vernon is a very special place, has a lot of talent. Um, there's a thousand other people like myself from there that may not have a voice that I have. Some do. You know what I mean? So it's a dope place. I'm very grateful to come from there because it helped prepare me for life. I mean,
Word.
yeah.
A lot of talent is understatement. We
Right.
talking Heavy D. We
Hmm.
talking P Rock and Seals. We're talking isn't the recently disgraced Puffy from Mount Vernon?
Nah.
No, where's that guy from? That's not neither here nor there.
No, no, no. Well, what I do is, I'll be fair. So Puffy is from his father's from Harlem and his mom is from Mount Vernon. He was raised predominantly, in Harlem. His mom went to church in Mount Vernon. He went to Mount St. Michael's in the Bronx. He always had ties to Mount Vernon. During his early on in his career, um, he was a Groovy Lou. A lot of the conduits from the city, when he was with LaFace Records and stuff like that. So he's, you know, but he didn't really claim Mount Vernon. So a lot of us from where we're from, we don't really claim him. It's not because of what's going on with him, personally. It's really because he kind of. I used to coach his son, Justin. His son is from Mount Vernon, and the mother of his first child is from Mount Vernon. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a lot of ties in Mount Vernon, because a lot of things really ran through Mount Vernon at that time, with Heavy D and Eddie F. Eddie F. DJ Eddie F.
Yeah.
Um, we had a group called the Young Guns. Shout out to I Born. I Born is a conduit. He was signed to Searchlight, which is what's homie's name that's with that group? DJ Searchlight.
MC
People in
Sir.
and out. Yes, yes. And yeah, so it was always like a lot of people in and out of Mount Vernon. We know we had the uptown swing sound,
Hmm.
the New Jack swing. So growing up, DMX is he's from Yonkers in Mount Vernon. You know what I mean? So that whole area was just growing up was just a melting pot of just artistry, and you was able to really see it, like that whole Rough Riders movement and everything. I was able to really watch it.
I think I can speak for a whole lot of hip hop heads when they kind of envy y'all who grew up in that era, and just in that music scene and seeing that, and being so privy to it, and having those footsteps to follow in, and wanting to, as that thing was growing. When did you first fall in love with hip hop, and why?
That's a dope question. As simple as it is, it's like I don't really know how many times I've really been asked that. So my mom, my mom always sang. She was a singer. So growing up first, she used to have the vinyls, Rick James, Whitney Houston, Bobby Brown, you name it, rock the Isley Brothers. So I grew up with that first. And then my mom, she married, my mom married um my stepfather. He's from Hollis, Queens. And he had did about 13 years um in jail. And she would bring me up to go see him and stuff like that. And we would go visit. He would give me all his tapes. So he would give me all these tapes, and I would go home and I would just listen to like the Alcoholics and Wu Tang and Rakim, Biz Markie, DJ Mark, like he just would send me, it would just be all these tapes. And then he told me to watch Video Music Box. So then I started to, really get in tune with DJ Ralph McDaniels, and I used to stay up late to watch it. And so now I started seeing like the music start, the early 90s. Now we're talking like 89, 90, 91, 92. So now I'm a kid and I'm watching this, and then it resonated to me. I got around like 13 years old, like 10, I started writing little stuff down. 11, 12, I was going to Yellowbirds. Yellowbirds was a famous uh vinyl place in Mount Vernon where people will break their albums. You know what I'm saying? I met Busta Rhymes, like people would go there. So growing up, it was just in my face. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my friends was rapping, kinda. So by the time I got to Mount Vernon, it was just like a normal thing. Yeah, everybody's like talented and stuff like that. And I still wasn't, I was just still into sports and stuff, but my stepfather was like the guy who really, was letting me, learn how to DJ. He used to bring me to Queens with him. You know what I'm saying? So my step pops was definitely a big conduit and getting me into hip hop. You know what I mean? So shout out to my step pops, Saquon. Saquon, yeah.
That's tight. Like to hear like those experiences that have definitely contributed to the artist that you become.
Right.
And you 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 live in Buffalo now, and of course we'll
Hmm.
get a little bit of the in between. Home of
Right.
Griselda. How
Yeah.
has Buffalo influenced your style?
Um, Not much, but but it's influenced me as an artist as a whole, right? So what I'll say is this: I started rapping seriously, like meaning like, let me call myself a rapper. This is something I want to do by watching West Side Gun. My manager is like West Side Gun's family. My manager's name is Keto Smith. He was the first person to show me a West Side Gun CD.
Sorry.
So when I sing now, I'm like, oh shit, like people still doing CDs. This is maybe like 2012, maybe 2011. So I'm like, okay, album cover was fire. I listened to it, boom bap.
Hmm.
So that's where that's the influence. That's where I want to give them their fair share. When I mean, because I didn't take like their beat selection, right? A lot of people took there's a certain grit and grimy aesthetic that West favored and
Yeah.
made more popular. You know what I mean? So what I did was I was influenced to get back to doing boom bap because boom bap was always my favorite aesthetic of music to me, and it had went away. And it was like when people was doing boom bap, it was like, people didn't want to listen to it. You know what I'm saying? It was like kind of like, so when I heard that album, that inspired me, like, yo, this dude is going on tour. This is in the beginning stages. I'm like, this dude is like selling merch. He's doing everything independently. He believes in it. He was so adamant about it. So when I seen that, that's what made me start scribbling and making me feel like, I can do that. Cause I'm looking at my life. Like I played in the NFL already. I had a lot of connections. I'm already resourceful.
Mhm.
I've kind of already been considered like a decent artist here and there, freestyling. I could sing a little bit. I've always known as a little talent, but I wasn't taking it serious. So I knew I had to like lock in with music and get better. So I just kind of utilized a lot of time. Then the COVID, a lot of different things kind of happened where I would just have enough time to just keep working, grinding, and I just knew I had to get better. I wasn't really worried about validation. I never got caught up in, oh, I'm the best. I knew I had to get better because it's just a lyrical game. So yeah, he inspired me to chase it independently, which made me feel more realistic. Like I ain't gotta sign to a label. I don't gotta wear a dress. I don't gotta, do no crazy shit. If I believe in myself and I can resonate to people, and if I get really better with this music, in my mind, I should be all right. You know what I mean? I should be okay.
That's tight. I mean, I've heard the progression. And not that I ever thought you were whack. Is I'm always
Right.
gravitating towards things that I think are dope. I'm one of those rare birds who doesn't just eat what they're fed. You know, I check for underground things. I check for things
Right,
that are actually tight, not
right,
just underground.
right,
Because there's a lot. There's a reason why a lot of things are underground.
right,
So,
right, right,
let's
right.
leave it at that.
Exactly. And I try not to get. I take pride in underground because underground means anything that's not on surface. Surface will be considered mainstream, right?
Mm,
So I take pride in being an underground independent artist, but I like to call myself an upper echelon independent artist, which means like I'm independent, I'm underground, but my music is still going to sound no different than at
then
times, depending on the type of albums I'm making. Right.
exactly, I
You know what
know
I mean?
exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
And brilliant way to analogize it. Uh,
Yeah.
and shout out hip hop, shout out the music that you're making. But you have another love in your life. This and you just talked about it a little bit. This weird game that everybody goes crazy over.
Right.
Foosball.
Oh, well, you know, so funny. So it's yeah. Foosball will be the game that you play without the motor. But when they add the motor to it, it's electric football or
I'm
miniature
I'm
football.
joking, Aaqil.
Oh, okay.
Let's get to the real game. Football, man.
Right, 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 right,
So friggin' intense.
right.
When did you and football get together?
Oh, the real game. Okay. I'll be playing with the little man. Um,
Mm,
I started playing football in 1993. That was my first year when I was 8. Prior I was playing in the projects, running around getting my clothes dirty, getting in trouble. Um, I played for, New Rochelle Vikings. I played there for about 2 years. And then I ended up going into Mount Vernon when I was 10, and then playing for the Mount Vernon Razorbacks. And
yeah.
that's when, everything kind of like changed. Because Mount Vernon was always undefeated, unscored upon.
Oh,
New Rochelle was good too. It was good too, but Mount Vernon, like again, it was just smaller, very a little bit more aggressive. So when I went out there, so I started at 8 in 93, and I played all through Pop Warner. Then I ended up going to, I played only 2 years of high school. I dropped out of school for a little bit, like 2 years. I played 2 years of high school football, did well, eventually all state, all state baseball player. Then I went to junior college up here in Buffalo. That's what brought me to Buffalo. First time I ever been to Buffalo was I came here for junior college to play football.
hmm
Um, I had to sit out a semester because I had graduated from summer school a little bit late. Because remember, I had dropped out, but I ended up actually graduating on time. But I still had to like finish in summer school, so I ended up coming up here late, sat out, came back, played all conference my first year. Second year, I was All American, #1 safety in the nation, #1 kick returner, punt returner. And then I got a scholarship to the University of Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? I went to the University of Pittsburgh for 2 years. First year, I was an All-American, first team Big East, #1 kick returner in the nation for like 9 weeks. And then my next year, I had a solid year, my solid senior year. They didn't really kick me the ball too much, but I did well. I had a big play against West Virginia. We beat them. They was like #1 in the nation. I had a strip, on the kickoff. That was like a big play. They call it like one of the best plays in college football history. Um, I had a big kick return against University of Central Florida on TV, national TV, 93 3-yard kick return. So I had my, football was dope. It was good to me. I had a great career, a decent career. Um, Met a lot of people. Football preserved me. You know what I mean? Kept me out the streets, kept me out of trouble. You know what I mean? I traveled everywhere. Um, College was fucking fun as hell. You know what I'm saying? It was a great experience. It was a good experience and a bad experience. It was a great experience as far as the people you meet, the partying, I'm saying? Actually learning shit. And but the football was real stressful. It was real stressful.
I
You
can
know what I'm
imagine.
saying? To maintain a scholarship. And then it was just like, I had kids early. I had a daughter early. Just going through regular shit real early. I look back like, damn, I was barely sleeping. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you trying to, keep up with the scholarship and you have to perform on a high level. You know what I'm saying? And so I was rapping in college too a little bit. That's when Wiz Khalifa and them. So I was around Wiz Khalifa and them because they're from Pittsburgh. So I was around them a bit. Um, I had a teammate. I had a dude named Keith Benjamin. He's from where I'm from, Mount Vernon, but he was on a basketball scholarship. He
Okay.
rapped too. And he was trying to get me into the music, even in college. But my mom like, yo, we in college. Like, what the fuck we gonna rap about? Like, but he's like, yeah, you nice, blah, blah, blah. So he's actually on my new song that I got out called Paper Up.
Okay.
His name is Keith Benjamin, and that's my brother. So we from the same hood. I went
Tight.
to junior college. He went straight to Pitt as a basketball player. and then I ended up going to Pitt. So we had 2 people from Mount Vernon at Pitt at one point, at one time.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds familiar, but I ain't gonna say that I can place him.
He played with Levance Fields. You remember DeJuan Blair?
No.
Um,
Are
Sam
these
Young?
are these basketball or football
Yeah,
players?
basketball, basketball.
Oh no. Sam Young does sound familiar too, but I can't place him now.
Yeah,
Uh,
he was on that team. You remember Carl Krauser?
no.
Okay. And that's okay. Yeah, yeah, you know, I ain't gonna hold you. College sports, we be thinking everybody knows. Everybody don't be knowing. You know what I mean? Everybody, you know what I mean? It's like, because people don't even be liking it. If they don't like your school, they ain't gonna watch it. And then that means
Well,
they have to come across.
I think the only reason I never really got into any college sports is it's just too many damn teams. It's
That's
too
what I'm saying. That's
many.
exactly what I'm saying. Right. And most people, unless their team is playing your team, unless you're like a real college fan, like meaning like a person who really just goes in the class, people bet, they bet on the game, so they actually watch. But college is real territorial. Like I went to Pitt, so I don't. Well, now that I'm not playing, I watch everybody. I
Okay.
paint, I paint my guys, but back then I was just real strictly into my school.
No shade, man. I never even really liked football, honestly.
Okay, yeah, yeah, right, right,
I followed it once. Honestly, I did follow it once. It
right,
didn't last long.
right.
I liked the Jets
Okay,
when I
right,
caught myself having a team, and that was just because I'll tell you they were green. You know,
right.
that's they were color green. They had just got Mark Sanchez. This,
Okay,
this is
from
when I was
USC. Yeah,
football. He's from USC, where I'm from. You know, Los Angeles, California.
right.
He was good there, and then he went to the Jets, and I think he like took him to like 2 championship games back to
Right,
back, and he was competing with Tom Brady. I was like, yeah, go Jets.
right.
And like I just stopped, like I just
Sweat.
fell.
Now you're not the first. I ain't gonna hold you. If this was like 20 years ago, I'm like, well, how you don't like her? But like as I got older and I got different friends who come from different walks of life, you start really understanding, like, yeah, football may have been important in my life, you know what I'm saying? And of course there's fans of the sport, but you'll be surprised how many people don't even watch sports, period. Like it just doesn't even move them. You know what I mean? Like,
Now that
yeah.
right now, yes,
And I'm kind of like, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm like,
there all on the microphone, and right when
right,
COVID started, I haven't paid attention to it since.
right. Once I started understanding that like sports is rigged and just a lot of little nuances in it,
Yeah,
I had to just really deal with the reality of it. So yeah, I know I played football most of my life and I know I loved it and my heart and soul into it, but I also know that there's a game being played within the game, outside of the game. You know what I'm saying? So like once I just kind of, that's why I create. Music is real. You know what I'm saying? Like so that I'm very, but I still watch it, right? I'll watch it here and there. Certain teams because I got friends who play, you know what I mean? I got friends who play. So I'm still kind of connected to it, but like I'm not delusional with it. I just accept it for what it is. Yeah, no, don't let it take up too much of my time.
I have a cousin who plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Yeah,
Okay.
Karis LeVert. Yeah, small forward
Mm,
Cavaliers, but I still can't watch it. I played a bit of football, man. I just couldn't take a hit.
right, right, right,
I did stay on the diamond always, and I always found something that I could relate to, like with hip hop and baseball.
right.
What? Why not baseball? You said you were all state. Why go down the football route and not baseball?
So I was a late so baseball was something that I was good at and didn't know I was that good in. So
Mhm.
like I started baseball when I was 11, right? My football coach was like, "Yo, Coach Carter," he was like, "You want to play baseball, son?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like so, my brother, I had an older brother who was raised by my father. He wasn't my blood brother, but my father had me when he was 50, so he had so he taught me how to like hit and pitch, and so I became the next year. I'm on the 12-year-old traveling team.
Okay.
I'm doing good. Now when I get to high school, I don't play in high school. I didn't play until my senior year. So I was in football. So my boy his name is Arthur Cowens. He was really good in baseball, like getting scholarships and shit. He's like, yo, come back and play ball, man. We can you fast. Like, come play center field, man. Like you was good when we was young. I'm like, I end up going back and fucked around. And I started off a little slow, you know what I mean? But once I got I don't know, bro. I was just, I guess, more confident,
Got your hair.
stronger. Yeah, I was older and I just was doing well. I remember I was batting ninth and then I started batting fifth. Then I was batting like fourth and fifth. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes they had me batting first. I was moving around. Like it was like, and I was just doing well. And I remember my coach came to me, he was like, he was Italian. His name is Coach Mazzelli. He was like, Lowell, if You come to me ninth, 10th grade. You're in Florida State. You're out of here. Like you're. So then after that, I just didn't think I was. I don't. I just football was just my thing. You know what I mean? Football was like working for me. It was like more. My vision was more. And then it's funny because I played in the wooden bat league maybe 5, 6 years ago. I ain't strike out not one time.
5, 6 years ago. Well,
Yeah, I was playing a little wooden bat league, and I smacking stuff with a what just ding, ding, ding. I have a knack for it. I just didn't, and I was fast, still bases. I played center field. So my glove was like really my strength. I can cover a lot of ground. Dudes would hit bombs. Boom. I just chase that shit down, dive, boom. That's like, yeah, you know what I mean? So, and I
that's
play
what
safety. I play safety on defense. So safety, center field's like the same shit. So I always was fast. I was real fast, always fast. So I covered a lot of ground.
sounds fun.
Yeah.
For me, adult wood bag league, that would be fun. I need to work out first
I ain't
though.
gonna hold you. You probably could play right now. What position you play?
I was catching.
Oh yeah,
I
you could play.
played
I
catch
mean, obviously, I know
at
your
15.
legs and being on your knees, but like hitting this shit. My boy, my coach is 60 years old. He
I didn't
goes to
always
Florida
have the
every year. Huh?
I didn't always have the best bat. It was a couple
Right.
people who got the position
Right.
before me and had the
That's
bat
kind of how it was for me. Like I know exactly what you mean. I know
just
exactly what you mean.
simply because they had a bat. But that's tight, man. Thank you for going through that. And I know you got mad more stories from the No Fun League, but and I know you throw a lot of those lessons into your newest venture, that Out the Frame podcast,
Right.
where you do a lot of building with myself and a lot of others, and
Right.
and talk about the culture and highlight some great music as well.
Right.
Talk to me about the impact that you want to make with Out the Frame.
Okay. So out the frame, was something I was like, I feel like it was like long overdue. I was always like going through like kind of a natural speaker. I would do live feeds and shit. I would do live feeds and naturally people would come on and like, "Yo, you need a podcast, you need a podcast." So my boy Bleak, a guy from DC, he's a host, he's the main host. He hit me up one day and was like, "Let me teach you how to use StreamYard. Like, you need to be on here with me, bro. If you really want to do it, we need to do it the right way." So once he kind of ran that across me, and he brought me on StreamYard, he taught me how to work. He said, "Well, let's just stay consistent. Let's, we end up doing it." So I I took my time because I really want to have an impact. I didn't want to, I was being asked to do a lot of podcasts by different people, and only thing they was worried about, yo, we're gonna get a lot of views, yo, we're gonna have a lit, we can get, and I just didn't want to do it for that. I just really wanted to be able to, whatever it is that I want to speak about, I wanted to be able to present it to the right way. You know what I mean? Not just going there looking for clout, looking for all that stuff comes organic anyway. You know what I mean? If you have substance, it's going. So when I got with him, I just really wanted to use it as uh another tool to articulate my mind and the things where I see it. And then also playing music from independent artists, man. Because I feel like we make the best music. I feel like a lot of independent artists are making real music that comes from a space, and I just felt like we need like this is why what you're doing is so important. It's like we need our own. We are the industry that we want to create. So we don't have to wait for these people who are on the other side to come. Oh, I like him. Let me come grab him and make him. It's like we need to just water each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically what I really wanted to create with the Out the Frame. Is that out the frame just really means like a different mentality, like out the frame. You got your picture, and you got people who could see things outside the picture. And so I see the picture of music, but I see outside of how we want things to be. You know what I mean? And so we try
Metaphor
to like body that up.
box.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely. And you do a good job of all
Thank
of
you.
that you just ran down. I do especially love the music that you be sharing from artists who I would have never heard of,
Right.
probably, unless I was tuned into to the Buffalo scene, which I'm not too much, even not with Griselda, like
Right.
I should be getting into there more and
Right.
more of the independent artists. Of course, I always been rocking with you for as long as I've known you.
Right. Right.
Um, I was watching. I was on an episode one time, and I was in the chat, and somebody handed you a smoothie.
Yes.
You
Yes.
went in on this smoothie, dude. Like
Yes.
there was no holds barred on the smoothie, and it looked so bomb. Like I literally turned it up, and when I was watching, but I
Right.
went I went and made my own. Break down the minutia and the intricacies of your smoothie game.
All right. So so I have you know, my girl, mother of my children, my child, she's like a healer, man. Like she obviously, I'm a smoothie guy. I was vegan, I was all into it, but she's another person who's into the health, into the detox and stuff like that. So, you know, I've been very fortunate. Like she gets the chia seeds, she gets the strawberry. She goes to the places to get the organic stuff, the non-GMO stuff, and she cooks up that medicine up there. So, smoothies are really important because there's so many ways you can make it. Like I make smoothies with water. I don't use almond milk. Um, you know what I mean? Just a lot of different ways, and it makes you feel good, man. Like, detoxing. Like sometimes it will be like strawberry banana, but she'll have like ICI or something in there, like an antioxidant or something in there, blueberries and stuff like that. So it's it's one of those things where it's a consistent thing. Like I got to bring some of these glasses upstairs now because I'm a smoothie guy. You know what I mean? And they're refreshing, man. They're refreshing, and we got that food processor. We got the bullet. We got all type of stuff upstairs. You know what I mean? So yeah, shout out to Jess. You know what I mean? She be holding me down, man. She be cooking righteous cooks. You know what I mean? So I'm very fortunate. You know what I mean? Very fortunate.
Shout out to Wiz, man, and you preach it to the choir when it comes to these smoothies, man.
Right. Right.
I start with the blueberries and the
Right.
pineapples. I be putting the avocado in there, banana, carrots, strawberries, kale, pepper.
Yeah. So you blend you said avocado. See, I don't like avocado, but she does. And I need to really get into it. I don't know. I like guacamole. You know what I mean? But I don't know why I don't know. But like the way you just made it, see, that's the real,
Man,
that's the
that
duality smoothie.
destroyed.
You got your greens. Yeah.
Yep. On the
Yeah.
water, like you said, like the little anchovies and some tuna, some liver and some gravy,
Yeah,
little
you
red,
stupid.
some cognac, with a little cat litter in.
Sprinkle, see, right. You know, what you remind me of? Remember, what is that? Daddy's that with Adam Sandler, and he had all the little kids there, and they was drinking YooHoo, and he was like, "Yeah, y'all watch, y'all be drinking YooHoo, a little bit of rum, right? A little bit of rum." And he's like, huh? What? And he's like trying to see if they was good kids. Yeah, that's so funny.
Yo, man, but out the frame again. It seems like a natural extension of your music, which is again very mature and smart and full of integrity.
Right,
You talk about the right things, yo.
right,
Honestly, and you show love and respect even to the things that you disagree with. When you get on the
right,
mic in front of the camera, and it's just it's a great thing to be a part of,
right,
sir. And again, just another extension of your music. And thanks for the
right.
content, yo.
Right.
How
I
does
appreciate you understanding it. I ain't going because everybody doesn't see it that way. Well, not to say anybody complains, but it's dope when someone can break down what you're doing. And I don't gotta be like, no, well, I'm not, that's not what I'm trying to, but it's like you hit it like dead on. You know what I mean? And that's what's dope about our shows. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like that's what's dope about it. They're needed because there's people who relate to you don't know. And then they tell you, and it's like, oh shit. Maybe one day we'll have a million people relating to us. You know what I'm saying? Like,
honestly, like that's like why I gravitated towards you in the first place.
well,
I spoke to you on Clubhouse like in 2018,
yeah.
2019, like as far as long as it was like a thing for
That was dope. That clubhouse era was dope. I met a lot of dope people from there.
me as well.
Right.
Same, and same people who I was able to connect with and that I'm still in touch with. I've interviewed a couple of them. We always got. I've been working with a few of them for the last few years now. It's a
Right.
beautiful thing.
Right.
Um, how does your approach? How does the approach from? Let me. How does your approach to making and coming at out the frame differ from making your music?
Um, that's a dope question. So what I'll say is out the frame is more it's basically like me without a beat, I guess. You know what I mean? Like it's more direct, I guess. Out the frame is more direct where people actually get a chance to see my personality. I think one of my biggest things I always wanted to do is for people to see me, see my eyes, look at me, mannerisms. I'm not hiding. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So they can match that to the music. You know what I'm saying? Now the music is really so I so my personal feelings is like I feel like my music, I have a lot of music, and I feel like I could curate people. Like, say if I just wanted to do a whole podcast just on my music, I feel like it wouldn't be based off me just thinking my music is the best. It would be based off the type of music I make. And
Mhm.
me being able to take people on a journey with boom bap and this and that and that and that. So what I did was I took myself out the equation and said, well, let me just mix that in with me, of course. You know, obviously I got music, I want to market my music, but I got friends. So I got other people. So the way I play music is I'm trying to like create like not a radio station, but more of an ambiance where when people come on my show, they know that you're going to hear good music. So yeah, I'm gonna sprinkle my stuff in there, but I'm making sure that I'm doing my due diligence to make good music. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, music that people have told me that they like and want to hear. So like that's basically where it helps me kind of really get across who I am as an artist and who I think I get a chance to do both things at once. You know, show how I am as a person and then also show the duality and the versatility of me as an artist. You know what I mean? And I think all that ties in together as me as a brand. And I think it just all kind of, goes together.
Word up.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, brilliantly explained. Uh, you
Mm,
you just blessed me with the advance of the new project,
right.
Pastel Notes.
Yes. You the first one. First, well, let's say I sent it to maybe 3 or 4 people, but you was the first person. Because it just hit me. It was like, yo, all right, boom. This is he's a hip hop guy. You know what I mean? Like so you got a new album coming out that you're proud of. You know what? It ain't gonna kill you to give it to him early, let him hear it so he could give you his honest analysis on it, play a couple songs early, whatever. You know what I mean? And so I sent it out to a couple people that whose shows I knew I was going on, people who, blog and DJs and just hear it before everybody, sit with it because I think it's better when you do it that way. Because sometimes when you drop it, now people got to listen to it on their own time. And not to say you're not gonna listen to it on your own time, but when you invite to someone exclusive, I think it's a different feeling when someone's like, yo, look, this no one heard this. This is my new album, man. I really appreciate your critique. Here, check it out. You know what I mean? So that was where my mindset was at before I sent it to you.
Honest critique and opinion. Go back to the drawing board. No, you know,
Start
you know,
over. Start over, buddy. Listen, you know what I mean? Like,
brilliantly crafted, like excellently curated.
right,
You know, really on that level of dope projects,
right,
not just a bunch of stuff thrown together. You
right,
know, and no shade to that because I've very recently heard some things thrown together that were very dope.
right,
But
right, right,
I'm one of those guys who appreciates, actually making projects and
right.
album appreciation rather than the
Cohesiveness. Right.
exactly cohesiveness and a body of work rather than the new model of just dropping singles till you get hot and then eventually I don't know make the deal or take the deal that you didn't want to take in the first place and then you never really got the process down because you were just releasing singles all the time. We've seen it happen for the last 15 years,
Right.
15
Right.
years. So again, I'm a dude who really likes projects and the theming around all the Nina Simone samples and the pastel notes and the jazzy feel to it, but the blackness of it.
Right.
It is a great project, dude, and
Thank you. Thank you.
I
Thank
would
you.
not be gassing you.
Right.
You do your thing. YNX does his thing. PA Dre.
Shot
Uh,
that right.
I don't know what he was taking, but
Man, and I
like
I
for
I because I didn't want to interject because I'm like a fan. I'm listening to your honest critique of of the album and PA Dre. I want to really give him. I don't even want to say flowers. I just really want to give him like his plants because this album was a passion project for him. Like I didn't know PA Dre before we did this album. Never met him. I saw him. I always wanted to work with him. I seen him
chemistry.
right on. Huh? Yeah, I met him on Twitter.
Wow.
He was on Twitter and he wrote, "Man, I got a project I want to do, man, but I want to find the right artist for it. Who should I get?" So I saw mad people. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, damn, he's never gonna see my comment. So I said, I just DM'd him and said, look, man, like whatever I'm a person who like I feel I know how to bring things to life. Whatever it is, man, maybe I might be able to do it. And he was like, it's a Nina Simone project. I'm
Mm,
like, look, I'm from Mount Vernon, New York. Nina Simone used to live in Mount Vernon. I sent him a YouTube video of me doing a freestyle over one of her beats.
dope.
He heard that. He said, okay, give me an email. I'll send you one beat. He sent me one beat, which is probably one of the early songs. You know what I mean? He's like, keep it a flame or something. He sent me one beat. I knocked it out. He said, I'm gonna see you one more. He said, I want to see, he said, talk about this. Like, I want you to curate it around this if you can stay on subject. I did
Mm,
that. After that, he said, yo, I think I could, because he's RJ Payne's producer. RJ Payne is arguably probably one of the, if not to me, arguably one of the top. He's up there, like with
yeah,
anybody. Like he's very like he's not only a punchline dude, like he tells stories. His wordplay is ridiculous. So for a producer who's with one of the arguably top artists to like fuck with my sound and want to really line that was like damn, that was dope. And I never met him, I never spoke to him on the phone. He would just inbox me whatever it was, and then he would leave me voice notes. That's as far as we went. And
man,
we
he
developed a dope ass relationship, man, organically. YNX has an album with him too.
tight.
You know what I mean? And then me and YNX about to work on an
It's
album with him.
That's very similar to a story that I just got from another interview that I just had, and that's just amazing to it's amazing to hear the chemistry.
Right.
It seems like y'all spent years in the studio together or something.
Right.
That's pretty dope, man. And Keeper of the Flame, yes, Keeper of the Flame is tight. I also like the first joint, the young gifted blacks. Both of the joints with you and YNX. Hold up. Let me see if I can play. Let me see here. Everybody, I can play something from the joint. Okay,
Surely. Mm-hmm.
let's see here. We're gonna play "Isn't It a Pity?" The
Okay.
with you and YNX. Here
Well,
we
well,
go.
actually, no, look, it's YNX by himself. So we purposely allowed, so what we did was we allowed YNX to have this song by himself,
Got it.
and then
Okay.
it leads into the next song with me and him, which is Everything Must Change.
Everything
Yes.
changed. Got it.
Yes. Yep.
Uh, let me see. Hold up. Let me see what plays. We'll probably get into them
But
both.
either one, even the one by himself is it'll be a this is a beautiful. So me and him about to shoot. I'm about to star in this video. So that's how unselfish we are. It's like, yo, get your own song on the album because YNX, that's my brother. We wanted him to do a poem, and so he gave us a, you heard it, and it's just like, so now I'm gonna be the actor in this. You know what I mean? And that's where we at with the creativity. We're just trying to create, man, and have fun and really put people into the world, whatever way we can.
Excellent, people.
Right.
We got "Isn't It a Pity?"
Wrong, my only goal now is trying to make it home. Isn't it a pity? Say a prayer, grab my chrome, kiss my daughter, I won't leave my kids alone. Isn't it a pity? Whether right or it's wrong, my only goal now is trying to make it home. Isn't it a yeah. 7-1, yo. Abandoned houses on the block foreclosed. The fiends live just to play with their nose. I wrote my wrongs in my humble abode. Look out the window, see the poverty close. We try to drink away the trauma, now it's hard just to cope. Hidden emotions driven by potion they put in the water. We suffer from bipolar disorder. Our mothers couldn't avoid this. Papa was a rolling stone, let me by example. And I repeat the same flaws when my time was ample. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, gotta track the root. Questions I pose to you. Isn't it a shame? Stand guarded, it got me drained. I won't complain. How we break each other's heart. I remember when they left me in the dark. They switched up and I never changed. My pen bleed on the page, reflecting pain. White next. Yeah. Whether right or it's wrong, my only goal now is trying to make it home.
Oh yeah.
YNX is hard, man.
He's that boy.
Yeah. Honestly,
He's that boy.
move forward, but break down Dusty Souls.
Okay. So Dusty Souls, man, that I mean, even me, so I'm gonna bring it to the beginning. So at this point, I was in a situation as an artist and I had started to work on higher realm, my own personal situation. So I'm doing my own thing, and people come to me like, yo, man, this YNX dude, man, I would love to hear y'all. So my one boy sent me his music. I'm like, oh, this dude is nice, bro. Like, who's he's like, he's from Buffalo. I'm like, he's from Buffalo. I was like, yo, I'll be in Buffalo. I got, he's like, yeah, so I didn't know YNX was always like, a fan of mine too. So I'm the type of person I reach out to people. So I'm like, I felt his energy. I said he looked like a very approachable dude. You know what I mean? I'm gonna reach out to him. I reached out to him. He sent me a verse back in like 30 minutes, man. A verse and a hook. So now I got that for my project. So then he sent me something. I sent him something back. So now we just looking at, I don't know, he probably looked at it the same way I did. I was just like, I always wanted like a partner. We didn't think about Dusty Souls yet. We was just like more like want to do a project.
It's collab.
So yeah, so I knew he had a lot of production. I had a lot of production. You know what I mean? We had a lot of resources. So we said, let's just, put it together. So we went and got each album, each song is produced by a different producer. No producer on there has more than one song on there. So it's 16 songs on there. So we end up getting a couple joints. We end up getting like 16 producers almost. And he was just sending me songs. He'll send me 2-3 songs. I'll knock out 2-3 songs. He'll knock out a song and a hook. I'll knock out a song and a hook. It might be my turn to do a verse, his turn. So after that, we just end up just creating this organic album, man. We just kept going, and we knew it was going to be a slow cook album. We knew people got ADD. We know Bank is 16 songs, but we said we did it for mental health. We did it for a bigger, and we knew we was going to get CDs and market it year after year after year. So a lot of people just catching on to it, but it's been out about 2-3 years. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just like, we know when we just want to make timeless music. And it's kind of hard to get other artists to believe in that. Everybody wants that validation now. A lot of people want that, so YNX understood the plan and we executed it and just let the universe do what it do. And so then after a while, we cooking, we going on tours and shit. He booked shows, I'm booking shows. And we just got this dope ass continuity. So now it's like, when you come to a YNX show, he'll do a song, I'll do a song for my solo. He'll do a song, I'll do a song for my solo. Then we'll finish out the rest of the concert with Dusty Soul shit and other songs that we got together. So we just kind of, so after a while, we was just like, yo, we just might as well just align. And we was thinking about a name, and we just thought about, so we came up with, we got an album called Dusty Souls. We just said, you know what? We Dusty Souls. We're gonna call ourselves Dusty Souls. I mean, so that's kind of how that, that all kind of came about.
Tight. The meeting of the minds, like minds come together. And like, birds of a feather flock together. It seemed like it was all in the plan before the plan was made.
For surely, right.
And thank you guys for making that dope shit. Honestly, you have a new project coming up.
Right. Oh yes. Oh, and the first time I met Wine, so mind you, I was living in Mount Vernon at the time too. So then I ended up like moving to Buffalo. But the first time I met YNX was in Miami because we was performing. So it's like, so like that little side notes and stuff. Like I met him in Miami, shooting a video, and that was my first time meeting him, but he's from Buffalo. So, and then I ended up moving to Buffalo. So I'm in Buffalo now. So I actually ended up getting closer to him. You know what I mean? So like, what was the odds of me even moving back to, you know what I mean? It's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? So now it's time to make a statement. We've grown a lot in our music. We've grown together, developed, more continuity, more resources. So this album was just more like, this album is going to really empower people. It's going to be, it's gritty. It's a little bit, it's alive. Rents Beats he puts a lot of different instrumentation into his beats. He adds a lot of pop. He's a Yonkers dude. He comes from that era, that Rough Rider, that, I mean, so I wanted to get YNX, being that he's from Buffalo. I wanted to get him on that aesthetic of beats. You know what I'm saying? I want to get him on that little, like, I mean, Buffalo does have his own sound. And mind you, he does all type of different shit and different production. But I wanted to get him on some of my hometown people, like some of the good people who are known hometown. I wanted to get him on something like that. So me and him linked up with Rents. Rents loves YNX. They have their own relationship too. I'm sure they cook up a little bit. And it's just been one of those things.
I really can't wait to hear it, man. It excites me just talking about it. Because as far as MCs go, you two gentlemen are the real deal.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
The real deal, Ali, for the real deal, Aaqil.
Real deal killed.
get you the two cheeseburgers like Holyfield used to have.
Right.
Honestly though, in rap and hip hop, it can make you feel like you're in Rome. So you got to do what the Romans do, and that's why we got a whole lot of this bullshit out here today.
Right.
It's so much appreciated that you guys are that breath of fresh air and
Right.
what we need, Mr.
Thank you.
Ali. Shout out to you. Thank you.
I
Um,
appreciate you. Thank.
I want to play a little game.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So, and it's not too extensive and probably less game like. I just need your opinions.
Okay.
Being that you are an ex-football player and a true MC, I want to get your hip hop analysis for this season.
Okay.
Okay, boom. For these artists, Cameron.
Right. Where's he at now? Like as an artist?
What's he looking like for this coming season?
I think Cameron is in a beautiful space. He's matured, not to say I'm clocking him as but just giving he matured as far as like he's just really doesn't worry about too much. He's having fun with music again. I've saw a couple freestyles where he's sounding real fresh, real rejuvenized. So I expect him to have, I wouldn't be surprised if he has he comes back and has a great album, another good run, because of him being in a beautiful space and not putting his pen down and taking music serious again. So I feel like Cameron is gonna, if I could guess, I feel like he's gonna have a great season this year as an artist outside of the podcast.
What kind of season is Sexy Red about to have?
Well, sex sells. Sexy Red it's very weird with her because it's like her following is so deep on many ways. You got white males who love her, worship her, black males who worship her, different entities worship her as far as her coming from a part of the hood that like a lot of people can't really get into. She's from St. Louis. They grow up very differently out there. She's young. She's confident. She's growing. She has a lot of connections. She's making a lot of music, whether people like it or not, and this is just my regular analysis. She's a hood girl's dream, meaning like she is very relatable to people who come from that environment, and she keeps it that way. She's eating Funyuns she kind of, so like she resonates to people like no other. I feel like she's going to have these next couple years is definitely going to be hers, depending on how she plays it, depending on, how things go for it. But, me understanding how mainstream music works. I was in Buffalo the other day, man. I just so happened to listen to the radio and they played her for an hour straight. They played it for an hour straight. I'm talking about even they played it for so long that they just started playing her songs on different beats, bro. And I was like, okay, like I already know what it is. I looked at my man. I said, yo, he fell asleep because I said, bro, they still playing Sexy Red, bro. Like I said, and that's when I knew, like, I already know what it is with her.
Okay, so Sexy Red is putting up the stats that can transfer to success, possibly a ring this season. Very nice.
They're gonna put it right where she need to be.
What do you see going for Benny the Butcher this season?
I feel like Benny. So Benny's a tricky dude, right? He's a real smart, predicated, strategic dude. So he has BSF, right? He came out with one of his biggest albums, but I think it was just a warm-up. I think now that this album is out and it's buying him time to focus on his BSF conglomerate, I feel like now he's going to have more time to actually work on his other projects and things. His work ethic is crazy, but I feel like he had to do a lot of CEO stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, and Namadra didn't take nothing away from him. It's just more so I expect, if people think that what he just did is like his ceiling, I expect him, because of the way his mind works and his talent, I expect him to even go even up further. Like, because he's like how I am, meaning we make theme albums. So his album was called Everybody Can't Go. So he stayed on course with that album. That album is going to put you in the mentality of where he's at in his career right now. So he didn't try to, and he curated his album based around that. You know what I'm saying? So again, I expect him to stay exactly where he's at and probably go up more. You know what I mean? Due to his connections, the type of person he is, his character and shit like that. He does very well with this music shit from a business standpoint and from a conduit standpoint. So yeah, I expect him to have another big season too. Shout out to Buffalo. I mean, I got my Buffalo. You know what I mean? Shout out to Montana.
Benny the Butcher. I mean, you talk about a guy. No, trying to wrap up here. I know we've been on for a minute.
No, it's all good, man. I'm here with you.
But not least, what is the analysis for you yourself, Aaqil Ali?
You know what's crazy, man? This year, it's like I'm in that, like, I feel like how Benny may have felt maybe 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Where, like, everything is starting to kind of come together. You don't want to get too high, you don't want to get too low. I had to mature, you know what I mean? With the business aspects of it, with my alignments, I can't just rap with everybody anymore. I see this year is going to really, I feel like this year, what I planned for it to be was the opening year of really getting people to understand I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna be here. I'm consistent. And I called it a statement year. This is a statement year for me. Not to where I feel like, oh, I'm about to just make the best music. Someone's gonna come sign me. But when this year is done, my name is gonna be like, I don't think I'm gonna make it through this whole year without someone coming and grabbing me up and trying to do some type of situation. Like, because I got the music, I'm not gonna stop dropping music. The music is sharp, it's mixed well, it's planned out, and I'm not gonna stop. So it's like I'm about to really put the pressure on, but in a real good way. Not in a competitive. I don't really care too much what other artists are doing. It's more so getting my point across and my friends' point across, musically, like not forcing people to support, but showing people like, yo, we traveling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm making these connections. I'm making beautiful music. I'm linking with singers from all over. And when people get a chance to really understand what I'm doing, it'll hit, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's some dope shit." I think people just come like, "That's some dope shit." Like some real music, genuine, organic shit that you just don't really see too much, because I feel like people are scared to do it that way, because you got to really believe in yourself to, like, go away from the status quo and just believe in the people that you're dealing with and selling your CDs and your posters and things directly to people. You know what I mean? So I think this year is going to be a statement year, and I expect things to just level up organically to build me for the bridge for next year and the other years to come. I feel like this put me right where I'm gonna earn my keep this year. Like,
Brilliant analysis, real deal, Aaqil. I agree with it wholeheartedly. Pastel Notes, it drops this coming Wednesday, March 27th, the year of our Lord 2024. Where can the people hear it?
all platforms, DSPs. We also www.ditc.com. We're gonna have physicals. I think we're gonna have it. We're gonna do a limited edition. And I'm not even trying to toot my own horn or anything like that, right? I'm just going through the motion of what I know in my career, in my short career, is I usually make albums and I be over them, and not over them like I don't want to hear them like they're done. It's just more so, I heard it a lot, and I'm just, but this one has really just made me real excited. Really the way it was curated, the way PH Ray did it, the way he mixed and mastered it, and me just hearing it, and the cohesiveness, the features of people I didn't know. It just feels real good. It feels real good, unforced. I'm listening to the lyrics; they feel real sharp. I was coming from a real space. I got to go through stuff. I go through stuff and I write it. So I feel like this is my best project to date, most crisp, cohesive project from start to finish, from just the mix and the mastering, which is really big. That's one of the biggest things I wanted. Was I want my sound to be crisp, and I want to sound, you know what I mean? So I expect, I just hope people check it out. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be marketing. We're gonna get behind it. I'm getting ready to shoot some visuals to it, and I hope the people love it.
Excellent. I know they're gonna love it. I love it. It ain't just done with it for me. I'm gonna be playing it for weeks to come. Aaqil Ali, again, thank you for taking the time to sit down with the rap scene. Again, we're looking at everything that you have going on. We're tapped in. We're tuned with Out the Frame. We're tapped in with all the music. We can't hear what's coming next from Dusty Souls. And again, it's just always a good time to talk to you, and I love building with you. I'm going to keep tapping.
Appreciate you.
Hopefully, I can get on out the frame soon, just so we can continue the
Oh, for
conversation.
surely. Yeah, yeah, yep. Kidnap you for a little bit because I mean, you got to back. What I love about podcasts when they're done right, not the arguing, the judging. I stay away from that. Just to
Keep doing.
get to know each other. You know what I mean? Just to know, like, I'm sure you have a lot of wisdom. You're a young man, about 25 years old. You know a lot of stuff that's going on. You know what I mean? And I know you have a past as far as like what got you to this point. I want to know a little bit about, yourself too. So, that's what these is for, ping pong effect, man.
Thank you, Aaqil.
For sure.
Yeah, peace. My name is Frank 5D, chief editor at the Rap Scene.
How
Saying
you
peace.
around?